is indeed important in politics. Let's find out what's happening in the, it's regarded as the main Workers' Day celebrations by Cosatu, held at the Sugar Ray Xulu Stadium in KwaZulu-Natal. Our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo is keeping an eye on things there, activities there. Ayanda, thank you very much indeed for your time. When we came to you earlier, it was rather empty, but I see it's filling up now.
Yeah, good morning to you once again, Blaine. Well, certainly now, just seconds ago, before coming to us, we've now seen the gates open, and now we see the workers, the members of Cosatu, supporters, community members, and those that have come here to be part of this day, the celebration of workers and commemoration of today's Workers' Day, entering into the stadium. Now, there are a bit of delays, as we said earlier on this morning, Plane, not only here with the setup, but there were some issues as well outside of the stadium around the township of Clermont. In fact, one of my colleagues, Sibonga Gonkembata, he's been covering one of those protests there, that we know that there has not been water in this area for a couple of days, and that was causing some of the protests and challenges, preventing, I suppose, buses and the workers from making their way here into the stadium. But now I'm just looking around, and they are coming in their numbers now. We also know that the president is here in Clermont. He was going to be given a briefing before making his way here. Of course, you'd also know yesterday, Blaine, the city of Durban coming to a standstill when municipal workers are going there on a rampage. And so that is one burning issue here pertaining to workers and just stability here in the city of Durban. And so that's one of the issues that we understand the president was also going to be briefed on. And we suppose that during his address, though here he is here in his capacity as president of the ANC, but he was also going to be given an update on the situation there. We do know that the municipality, municipal officials, as well as the leadership of SAMU since yesterday, have been locked in talks, continuing as well today. In fact, as I speak to you, Blaine, we are hoping to get one of the leaders of SAMU to give us an update on what is happening. And as you know, there's already threats from workers to say that there is going to be a complete shutdown tomorrow once again if they do not get a response to the grievances that they put forward to the municipality and the government here in KwaZulu-Natal. But of course, salaries is the issue that the workers here are concerned about, and saying that there's been upgrades on salaries, upgrades on some workers, on not others, and they want free, fair pay and fair treatment for all workers. And I suppose that also speaks to Blaine issues. Earlier on, we were speaking to one of the leaders of Cosatu and of one of the unions, and you were saying that the events that we saw in Durban playing out yesterday is exactly the issues that are facing not only workers here, but in municipalities across the country, but also facing the workforce in general. And so today the workers are out here, many of them wanting to hear what the leaders of Cosatu are going to say, what their promises are going forward. We've already been speaking about the minimum wage, which has been a step forward for workers. However, issues around compliance, that companies are still not complying with the law. In sense, they are breaking the law. We've heard what Cosatu has said, that they need to name and shame. This coming from the president of Cosatu, Zingiswa. But workers saying we want to see a Cosatu step up pressure on the government, step up pressure on these companies that are not complying with the law. Other basic issues, a plane of basic working conditions, factory workers, farm workers. These are the people that are going to be out here today wanting to hear what is going to be said about them. We've also been speaking, it's the elections, we're counting days now to the elections. We know that the president, of course, will be speaking in his capacity as president of the ANC, but he is also likely to speak about what his party, what the ANC is promising the workers of this country. Aside from workers, a lot of people that are out here that we were seeing earlier on in the street are unemployed, and they are here to find out what is going to be done about creating jobs in the country. We know that it has been one of government's priorities. We've seen investment summits trying to attract investment into the country, but what people want to see is that translate into jobs. The high unemployment rate, especially amongst the youth, and this is what a lot of people are saying. We are unemployed. Yes, it's Workers' Day, but we are going to be out here today to wanting to hear what the plans are for people who are unemployed, but also those that are working, whose jobs are on the line, companies are closing down. They want to hear what is going to be happening in terms of government ensuring that companies do not close their doors, which will then add to the already burden of unemployment here in the country. I'm just keep on turning my head here. I'm waiting the SAMU leadership is going to be speaking to us on this burning issue that has been taking place here in the province. And I think, in fact, even this morning, Blaine, as we're making our way here, a lot of people are still on edge, a lot of uncertainty as what is going to happen in some areas, and it believes that it could have been sabotage. Allegedly, there were areas that were without electricity, areas that were without water. And waking up this morning as well, we were speaking even to some of the leaders of Cosatu who said that they woke up today and there was no water, suspecting that it could be linked to yesterday's protests by SAMU. So it's going to be quite important for us, hopefully, that we get to the leadership of SAMU and speak to them about what is going to happen, what the interventions are, because their strike is not, of course, not only affecting them as workers, but it's causing a lot of instability here in the city of Durban. A lot of businesses affected as well. And when we speak about attracting jobs, this is another issue that they need to speak to us about. Is investors want to invest in countries where there is stability, where they know that there won't be any risks of their business. And when workers go on a rampage, as we saw yesterday, forcing businesses to close, threats as well and fear amongst consumers, as well as just the general public, that is going to put off people from wanting to come in, from wanting to invest and starting up businesses, which is going to be key to addressing this issue of unemployment here in our country, Blaine. So we are hoping that very shortly we'll be able to come back to you on that and speak to the leadership of SAMU on this very, very important issue. But around here, as I said, Blaine, the crowds are now coming in. The president is here, and they should be making their way very shortly here to the stadium for that program to get underway. So we'll be back with you, Blaine, very shortly. Hopefully we will then have the leadership of SAMU, as well as just to give you an update on the program and when exactly we're going to start. Blaine, for now, let me take things back to you.
Yeah, and unemployment, a major issue here in South Africa. It was sitting at around 27.1% in the fourth quarter of 2018, which was actually a decrease of about 0.4% as compared to the third quarter. And you did mention about this investment drive. We had the job summit last year. The President, Cyril Ramaphosa, was in this drive to attract investment of about over 1 trillion rand in the next 5 years in various sectors of the South African economy. So, those unemployment is an issue. Those who are employed also have issues. In terms of the workers that are behind you, are they confident in this Labour Federation, Cosatu, to address their issues? What are they saying?
Yeah, Blaine, there are still members of Cosatu, still have faith in Cosatu, very hopeful with the new leader of Cosatu, President Zinggu Solosi, and already what she has been saying around in her comments, and even this on the fact that she has come out and spoken out on the issues around the minimum wage bill, and giving the encouragement to workers that Cosatu leaders are going to be able to address the issues that are affecting workers. But Blaine, there are so many issues that are still remain. Yes, there's been great strides that has been taken by the Union Federation as well as in working with government. But today we are still speaking about issues of labor brokers that has not yet been completely resolved. So yes, there is a great deal of faith in Cosatu, but still some issues that workers are saying it has been quite a while that they've been patiently waiting, and that it's by a time now that Cosatu add more pressure on the government with respect to a number of issues that are affecting workers. But also, Blaine, just very briefly, I know I have to go now, is the issue of the losing support of Cosatu. There's been so many unions that have been taking away membership of Cosatu. So that is another point that Cosatu is going to be having to work on, is how are they going to bring back these members that they've lost to these new unions that we now see in our country. Blaine.
All right, let's leave it there. Ayanda Mhlongo live for us in Durban.